Yo, what's going on, y'all? You're back. I'm your host, Paco. You're listening to Occupy the Media. Don't forget to donate to RonPaul2012.com if you can, when you can. Let's see what else we got going on here. Okay, so came across this article on Policy Mike. I don't know if this is definitely a Ron Paul supporter, but they say they are. Ron Paul's presidential campaign was ruined by the Paulbots. Okay, I am a Ron Paul supporter. I absolutely love the guy. I even own the Ron Paul Revolution t-shirt. Even if I don't agree with everything he says, I think we need a president with his compassion, wit, and consistency. Had some of his warnings been more closely heeded, we would not be in many of the problematic situations we find ourselves in today. I resent the way that mainstream media and his own party constantly ignore him. That being said, I am sometimes embarrassed to be associated with other Ron Paul supporters. The overly zealous support for Ron Paul damages his campaign and makes him a less appealing candidate. Well, then why is he growing then? I know that I am about to be bombarded with insults from the Paulbots. Michael Luciano expressed this inevitability with his comment on a previous article critical of Ron Paul. Pro-Ron Paul comment: carpet bombing to commence in 3, 2, 1. This is exactly the phenomenon that I would like to discuss. The Paulbots' support is reliable, enthusiastic, and at times borderline fanatic. I agree with many comments defending Ron Paul, and I'm not saying that all that the passionate defense of an underdog candidate is unwarranted or unreasonable. It is a spirit in which some of these comments are made that paints a picture of Paul fans as fanatic out of leagues. I believe that there are many valid arguments in defense of Paul's candidacy. However, I very rarely see these arguments made without being prefaced by something along the lines of "wake up" or "are you a moron?" Obviously, I generalize and I am looking only at certain samples, but the spirit of the vast majority of these arguments is along the same lines. I see the truth and everyone else is an idiot for not seeing it too. I believe that this attitude evolved naturally from Paul's campaign. He presents himself as a politician outside of politics, the voice of reason in an insane world, and the harbinger of better times. An almost Jesus-like figure. It only takes a little exploration to go from revolutionary politician crucified by the media to the chosen one. I don't intend to use examples of this type of logic from his supporters from this website, although there are many. Let's see here. It's perfectly fine video. They're talking about a video they posted. Let's see what's going on here. Alright, so basically just complaining that, you know, some of us are over the top and some Ron Paul supporters like to say people are dumb or stupid. And this is what I have to say to this, man, to that. Yeah, a lot of us do have a lot of energy. We are excited, but you have to understand why we're constantly excited about Ron Paul. Ron Paul represents so much. And so when we get excited about Ron Paul, or say Ron Paul this, Ron Paul that, I'm waving the signs, just like I was yesterday at Pasadena College, letting people know Ron Paul is the only a true candidate. We're saying Ron Paul because that's a quick way of us saying in the Fed, in the IRS, in the CIA, the FBI, get out of NATO, get out of UN. You know what I'm saying? All of that. That's a quick way of saying that. Stop the wars. Bring our troops home. You know, get the government out of healthcare. Get the government out of education. Basically, get the government out of everything. Stop police brutality. You know, end the drug war. So when you say some of us are a little bit, you know, fanatic about it, it's not that we're fanatics about Ron Paul. We're fanatic about being free. And if anybody thinks that there's, you know, it's a problem with that, well, it's only going to get worse. And it's not hurting Ron Paul, it's helping. All this energy is helping him. You know, we got so many articles and headlines out about Ron Paul nowadays winning these delegates, and we're finally getting a little bit of attention in the news. And right now, as I speak, Mitt Romney's on Fox News right now giving an interview. I wonder if he's going to ask him about Ron Paul as many times as they asked Ron Paul about him. You know what I'm saying? So anyways, that's why we're fanatics, man. Because we want to be free. Now, people shouldn't be calling people stupid or dumb. I mean, don't get me wrong. A lot of people are stupid and dumb, and it's sad. It's not because they are that way. I should say it's because they choose to be that way. If you don't want to look up what's going on. You don't want to take the time to educate yourself and find out why this country is, falling and free falling, why the dollar is falling, why everything is getting worse. If you don't want to find out for yourself, then that's on you. It's your fault that you don't understand why Obama's not the answer and Romney's not the answer, and that Ron Paul is. Let's see what Romney's saying here on this interview. He's on Cavuto right now. We're probably talking about Obama or something. We'll have to see. But Mitt Romney's having a problem. We're making it harder for you, man. You cannot be the nominee and nobody wants to be your delegate. Nobody really wants to come out and vote for you. Nobody really, even the people that are endorsing you, they're not even excited about it. Nobody wants to be your vice president. I mean, it's such a joke that the media is still going along with this. But if you're like me and you sit back and you look at the TV, it's like, what world do we live in? How are they reporting this? How are they pushing this dude? How does anybody think he's going to win? Why isn't the truth being said or being told? If you're thinking that, then you're like me. We need to occupy the media. It's time to be at their doors. Get Ron Paul president. Give Ron Paul more airtime. Report the truth about these laws, all these laws that are being passed. Stop talking about a bunch of nonsense. He say, she say. He endorsed him. She endorsed him. Oh, did you hear what he had to say about her? It's a bunch. It's like watching like high school news or something. It's ridiculous. Okay, so what else we got going on? I think we had another headline here. Let's see here. Ron Paul playing GOP puppet master, but why? This is at newser.com. Ron Paul's campaign has been expertly gaming the GOP primary system, taking advantage of just how boring its behind-the-scenes machines are to collect more delegates than his vote totals would indicate. Paul fans have been flooding the otherwise sleepy meetings where state delegates are chosen and electing themselves. Of course. We have to. And they are boring. They're boring because nobody wants to be a part of it. It's not making us any freer. It's not making the economy any better. No more jobs. That's why they can't raise money. The GOPs can't raise money. Don't got no events going on. People are fed up with government, man. We're fed up with people lying, saying one thing and doing another, the very next day. And then just moving right along like it's nothing. Anyways, we'll be back. I'm your host, Paco. Stay tuned.